The Trade Desk, a company that got pummeled on earnings at the start of the year, but recently here has recovered some of its price action. In today's video, I'm going to take a look at what is possible for the stock moving forward. Check it out. This video goes out to Tim Murphy, who asked about a chart on TTD, which is the Trade Desk. Lots of movement on this one this year, he says. So, Tim, guess what? Put together a video on this one. At first, I thought you were talking about UNH, but I misread that. So here we go. Here's a breakdown of the Trade Desk. All right, so here we are taking a look at the Trade Desk, ticker symbol TTD. We are on a daily chart. And where I want to start is by looking at this massive gap down that we had back here in February. This is really when all the weakness started coming into the market. The Trade Desk was up here at all-time highs, near all-time highs, which is around 141.71. And it pulled back a little bit, was moving sideways, consolidating before earnings. What happened was we got this massive gap down to the tune of about $37.78, which is a pretty significant move for this price action closing that day at 122.28. I did a video on UNH, want to check that one out as well. Some people probably stepped in to buy this thinking it was a value, but what happened from there is it was a slow bleed down, and a lot of that can be attributed to the tariffs. It did find a little bit of support here before it continued to drop a little bit more, nearly getting back to the bear market lows of 2022. And it wasn't until we got to its most recent earnings report here on May 8th, when the price action got above that 50-day simple moving average, the ticker got a gap up. And that price move continued higher to May 13th, when it hit a recent high of 80.69. And then currently what we are seeing is a slight pullback into the 10-day exponential moving average. And what potentially can happen from here? Where can the price action go? Let's take a look at the charts and figure that out. If we look at the current price action, to me, what I see forming is a bit of a bull flag. We pressed up higher following earnings. We did have a great bit of bull volume come in, and you can see we've since pulled back a bit into the 10. We're almost at that 10-day exponential moving average. You can see that there's support here on the VRVP. But notice, too, that we've seen a decline in the volume since then. And with thin volume, this price action is going to be vulnerable to significant moves. So just looking at where we are now, that strong push higher, and now we're retesting into that 10. You have some profit taking occurring. We could be setting up for the next leg higher here on the Trade Desk. When we're looking at this, let's identify the resistance areas. If this is a bull flag and it is going to move higher, we do have a couple points of resistance we need to be aware of. The first being this 100 simple moving average here on the daily, and that is at 80.95. And then above that, we have the 200 exponential moving average on the daily. That's at $86. So these are the first two key resistance areas where we need to watch the Trade Desk to see how it interacts here, if it gets rejected hard and comes back down. But those are the first two key areas to watch. If it can break through those two moving averages, the next one that we have above us is going to be that 200 simple moving average on the daily, and that would take us up to 97.71. What is crazy is that does not take us anywhere near closing that gap that was created on the earnings drop from February 12th. In order to fill that gap, we would need to be back up around $118. There is still a lot of movement that could take place here on the Trade Desk. But for now, those are the three price areas we're watching. We're watching that 80.95 at the 100 SMA. We're watching 86 at that 200 EMA, and we're watching the 97.71 price point on that 200 SMA on the daily. If it is able to get above those, then what we're looking for is filling this gap, and I'm looking at the wick here, this bottom wick. and that price point is going to be 118.10. We have 4 price areas that we're watching for resistances as this would continue to move up. Now, the bear case, let's say that we would cut right through that 10. Then what we would be looking for is to see if we would get a bounce off of the 20 or the 50 right here. These are EMAs, exponential moving averages. And should it come down and cut through those, we have that 50 simple moving average on the daily. There is some support there, but more than likely what is going to happen, what I'm seeing from the charts, I do like this bull flag that is forming. I do that there was profit taking that has occurred here. I do the fact that this was beat up for quite some time, a bottoming structure here. And you could argue that you do have a bit of a double bottom pattern here. You have a lower low, higher low. Here's your neckline. And then right there is where this thing broke out. And now we're just getting a retest that's coming in where we're loading up for the next move higher. And just really quickly, let's take a look at the weekly view here on the trade desk. You can see that this is stuck at the 200-day simple moving average on the weekly, but there is room up to that 100 to 88.08, and then that 50 is above that at 97.16. So similar price points like we saw on the daily chart. The 50 on the monthly right now is serving as resistance, and if it's able to break through that, we could see we have that 83.80, that's the 10-day, and you also have that 20 EMA above it, 85.28. And above that, it's smooth selling. So again, use your moving averages in your trading. The 50, 100, and 200, they are significant areas of support and resistance, and they can dramatically improve your trading. Tim, I hope that was helpful for you, my analysis of the trade desk. Let me know what you guys think. Where is the trade desk going in the next few months? Are you bullish or bearish on the ticker? Let me know in the comments, and smash that subscribe button on the way out, and make it a great day. Take care, everyone.